pinnacle of my career.
Next time.
Today is all about science.
Not my strong suit.
You can pinch my nipple.
I'm a bit scared right now.
Oh, no.
Keep going, Hilarion. Not that one, the next one.
How can a cloud weigh anything?
Don't worry, it's not nearly as dangerous as it looks.
She's gonna blow! Run for cover!
Are you kidding me? I thought it was going to be fire.
Was the Princess Diana car crash an accident? Celebrity crime scene. Princess Diana, tomorrow on Fox.
Now, your primetime local news leader. Fox 22 News at 10.
The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office is investigating a fatal motorcycle crash in Glenburn. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. The Regional Communications Center received an automated crash notification from a cell phone a little before 11:30 last night in the area of the Phillips Road. Officials say when a deputy arrived, he found an unresponsive male and a motorcycle that had crashed into the woods. EMS responded and the person was pronounced dead at the scene. That crash remains under investigation. Meanwhile, U.S. Customs and Border Patrol agents have arrested a Maine fugitive fleeing felony charges. CBP spokesperson Steve Sapp says officers arrested 41-year-old Thomas Cooley of Solon as he attempted to board a flight to Germany with a one-way ticket at the Philadelphia airport. The Somerset County Sheriff's Office had charged Cooley with 2 counts of gross sexual assault, possession of a firearm by a prohibited person, and domestic violence stalking. He now faces additional charges of assault on an officer and refusing to submit to arrest for allegedly pepper spraying the officers who arrested him at the airport. And a Florida man is facing OUI and other charges after his alleged erratic and wrong-way driving triggered more than a dozen 911 calls and a police response. Maine State Police say at around 5:30 this evening, dispatch received 14 different 911 calls reporting a box truck driving erratically on I-95 South in Old Town. Troopers, Bangor Police, and Orono Police all worked to locate the vehicle. They say the truck exited the highway, then re-entered it and crossed the median, driving north in the southbound lanes. It ended up in the Bangor Lowe's parking lot and was said to be driving in circles. Maine State Police say the vehicle was finally located in the BJ's parking lot, and 36-year-old Julio Matos of Orange City, Florida, was taken into custody without incident. He was charged with criminal OUI, driving to endanger, and failure to notify of a motor vehicle accident. Further charges may be filed. No one was injured. Well, switching gears now, a government oversight committee wants to investigate the circumstances surrounding the murder of a child in Bangor. Court records show 10-year-old Braxton Smith died in February 2024 after suffering months of abuse and neglect. When he died in the hospital, he was only 48 pounds and was bruised, emaciated, and burned. Braxton's cause of death was determined to be blunt force injuries in the setting of battered child syndrome. His father, Joshua Smith, pleaded guilty to depraved indifference murder. His mother, Jem Bean, and grandmother, Misty LaTourette, both pleaded guilty to manslaughter. The legislature's Office of Program Evaluation and Government Accountability, or OPEGA, wants to look into whether DHHS had contact with Braxton's family and if mandatory reporting or homeschooling were factors.
We have gone through 4 of these cases so far, and we've yet to figure out exactly what's happening, why we're still one of the worst states in the nation. And I think we need to do the full investigation on this.
Timberlake said there will be a new governor in Maine and a conversation about who runs the Department of Health and Human Services. He said it's time to do things differently so the children of Maine are protected. In other news tonight, a new energy project is slated to come to Lincoln, and several city, state, and federal officials, including the U.S. Energy Secretary, discussed the details today. Our Callie Warren has more.
This former Lincoln paper mill has been vacant since 2014, but with an energy company having its eyes on the site, even folks at the federal level are saying it could bring big economic changes to Maine.
reliable, affordable, secure energy.
U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright headlined an energy affordability briefing in Lincoln Wednesday. Alongside Senator Susan Collins and officials from the Form Energy Company, they discussed plans to bring a new energy solution to the town.
What Form Energy is going to build here, it's a battery, it's energy storage that's matched with the problem.
That power grid problem, according to Wright, concerns Maine's energy reliability in extreme weather situations, such as winter storms. The facility will use iron-based batteries to store and provide clean, domestic-built energy when electric use reaches peak demand.
Right here, on about 50 acres of the Lincoln Technology Park, we're planning an 85-megawatt, 8.5 gigawatt-hour system, enough stored energy to reliably power around 65,000 Maine households, roughly every household in this county.
The project is predicted to bring over 400 career opportunities and 100 construction jobs to Lincoln.
It will make a very positive impact in both affordability and electricity. The economic impact of the investment in the batteries and taxes and lease payments for the town of Lincoln is going to be absolutely beneficial.
Another factory is planned to come to the same location that, according to Burt's, turns wood waste into heating fuel. Construction is expected to begin in 2028. In Lincoln, Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
As many coastal towns across Maine continue to grapple with a housing crisis, Deer Isle municipalities are joining forces to address a damaging lack of affordable housing for the hardworking Mainers who keep the towns running. Our Grace Blanchard explains.
Across the coastal communities of Deer Isle and Stonington, the housing market is pushing the local workforce off the island.
We've got to solve this housing issue, and we've got to do it quickly now. We can't take another 10 years to do it because things are changing around us too rapidly.
Research conducted by the community's Joint Interlocal Housing Task Force discovered the island remains short of over 100 units of affordable workforce housing.
There's also just not a lot of availability, and the properties that do become available tend to not align with the price range that matches the income here on the island.
The task force has developed an extensive plan that they hope the newly contracted housing manager, Dan DeBoard, will help bring to life.
I see it more as a coordination effort, as taking advantage of the good work that exists already.
Much of that work is being done by two nonprofits. Homeport, which is converting a former island nursing home into housing, and Island Workforce Housing, which has built 22 units.
Our long-term goals are to reinvigorate downtown Stonington during the winter by having more people living in the vicinity, and to reinvigorate Deer Isle Village to the degree it wants to be.
But community leaders say there is still much work that needs to be done.
It's a very busy time in Stonington, but even when it's not a busy time, we want to remain a year-round community. We want our fishermen to be living down by their boats down on the water, and so we've got a lot of work to do.
In Stonington, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Maine's fishermen and ocean waters are forever intertwined, and a major construction project in Brooksville aims to keep them that way. Our Doug Banks has that story.
There's been a major step forward towards solving the town of Brooksville's common complication, which is for 2 hours twice a day, the tide at Betsy's Cove Landing drops significantly.
This is actually a pretty mild low tide. On a bigger low tide, it's actually dry. The pier, the boats are all sitting on the mud, and this is the only public access point.
According to Brooksville's Harbor Committee chair, the town recently acquired around $900,000 from the Northern Border Regional Commission to dredge 6 feet out of the cove's floor and extend the current pier.
The final design isn't done, but it'll be 120 to 130 feet long.
The new funding adds to the approximate $250,000 acquired from the Maine DOT and the $500,000 the town has committed to the estimated $1.8 million project.
We hope to get a couple more grants and reduce the amount that the town will have to spend.
Pending a federal environmental review of the project, Shaughnessy projects dredging and pier construction will begin this winter and conclude the following spring. Afterwards, work to replace the boat ramp will begin in the winter of 2027 and conclude in the spring of 2028. Constructing an all-side public pier is expected to provide convenience to the approximate 30 licensed fishermen in town.
Plus, the summer people and stuff will use it a lot, which is great. It's cool. I mean, that's part of the community and the business, and the town makes a lot of money off that.
Shaughnessy hopes the project will also maintain an important industry in the town of Brooksville.
High percentage of people who grow up in Brooksville end up being fishermen, and we're losing our young people, and this is hopefully a way to keep some of our young people here.
In Brooksville, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
The University of Maine will begin construction of a 3D printed neighborhood meant to serve homeless individuals. Senator Susan Collins announced today that the UMaine Advanced Structures and Composites Center has received its $4 million congressionally directed spending award that will support the design and production of 9 of the houses in the greater Bangor area in partnership with Panquist. They will be the first homes in Maine constructed from wood sawmill waste and could serve as a model for other communities looking for ways to address homelessness. A statement says the homes are designed to withstand Maine winters. A prototype on the UMaine Orono campus has done so since it was unveiled in 2022. Senator Collins says, quote, by transforming recycled forest products into durable, energy-efficient homes, this innovative technology could help address our housing shortage, strengthen Maine's forest products industry, and create new jobs across our state, end quote. Well, throughout August, the Maine Public Utilities Commission has been reminding Mainers that texting 911 is an option. But as our Alex Schley tells us, officials say it should only be used in certain circumstances.
State leaders are reminding Mainers help is just a text away. Texting first responders became available to all Mainers in 2018. However, officials say recent upgrades have expanded the capacity of the system.
Obviously, with all the changes in technology, the next gen 911 system, there's upgrades that allows we can even down the road there's the possibility of getting picture messages, getting video messages that we would be able to receive. So someone on scene might take a video of what's going on, and the dispatcher essentially would almost have a live view of what's happening on scene.
Officials say while texting 911 is a great resource, it should not be used unless calling is not an option.
They need to realize when you text, it's a slower process because it's messaging back and forth between a 911 operator and the person requesting services. So we have questions that we need to ask of the person that's calling so we know where the emergency is. We know who to send, what to send for resources, whether it be police, fire, EMS. So just that text exchange, the messaging back and forth takes more time.
The program has also proven to be useful for members of the deaf community to contact first responders.
Instead of involving a relay service, which again, can delay time, they might be more easily able to text 911 and get that quicker response between us and the caller.
Officials say they've seen more people turning to texting 911, but emphasize if you can call, do. In Bangor, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And let's pause now, folks, for a first look at our forecast.
Thank you very much. A nice warm day for today before we cooled off with a few showers and thunderstorms out there, but temperatures did reach into the mid-80s before those clouds moved in here for today. 84 here in Bangor, 80 in Millinocket, same for Holton. You saw some mid-upper 70s further north, but still mid-80s made their way down into the southwestern portion of the state as well. Now for tonight, we have those thunderstorms coming to an end. You can see here at past midnight, we're all going to stay dry out there. Decreasing clouds into the morning for tomorrow. Now we're going to see that flip for tomorrow as well. Sunshine early on till right about noon, but increasing clouds throughout the day will keep us cloudy and keep our temperatures slightly cooler than what we saw out there. But here's the thing, we're not looking at any rain for tomorrow. More of this cloud cover is getting thrown from a low pressure system down to our south, and there's not enough moisture for us to see any rainfall out of it. But otherwise for tonight, decreasing clouds out there after these thunderstorms pass. We're looking at lows tonight just below 60 degrees.
Thank you so much, Chase. And just ahead, we have more news.
He put his life on the line for his country. Senator Susan Collins isn't forgetting him or any of our veterans. She's delivered millions in federal funding to improve housing for veterans across Maine and provide housing vouchers to make sure Maine veterans have a place to call home. She's also worked tirelessly to provide the quality mental health care our veterans deserve. Call and tell Senator Collins to keep fighting for our veterans.
Whether you're hurt by a landscaping truck like this, a work van like this, or any commercial vehicle, we know how to get you the big money you may deserve.
Hurt by a commercial vehicle? Call the twos. We win for you.
Chevy drivers across America will do a lot in the next 5 years. But one thing they won't do is pay interest on their new Chevy. Right now, get 0% financing for 5 years on all 2026 Silverado 1500 models. With no payments for 90 days. Because you've earned this summer. Now it's time to go get it.
Visit your Maine Chevy dealers.
Troy Jackson likes to keep it in the family. When Jackson was Senate president, his son was one of the highest paid lobbyists in town. Special interests paid his son, and Jackson changed his positions. Just another dirty politician. SLF PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
When the morning light hits Maine, start your day with Good Morning Maine. Craig Colson, Janessa Bishop, by your side, bringing the stories that matter statewide. Local news and the forecast ahead. Wake up informed, ready to go on ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Looking at headlines around our state, a parasitic disease that once devastated Maine's oyster farms is now spreading through farms in Canada. The disease is not a danger to humans, but the potential impact for Maine oyster farms remains in question. Max Williams reports.
There is a parasitic disease spreading beneath the waters of Canada, wiping out oyster farms. While it's not an immediate concern here in Maine, local oyster farmers are not taking any chances.
10,000 oysters this afternoon. I got a crew out packing right now.
For 40 years now, Smokey McKean has successfully run one of the first oyster farms to exist in Maine. But more than a decade ago, the oysters at his farm took a deadly hit.
We found about anywhere between 50 and 90% mortality.
In 2010, a parasitic disease spread through the Damariscotta River, killing oysters.
It was devastating for a year or two.
The disease, known as multinucleate sphere unknown, or MSX, now spreading rapidly through Canadian oyster farms.
This is a parasite that we have had in Maine for quite some time.
Experts at UMaine say Maine oysters will still test positive for MSX to this day, but say it's still rare for an oyster to get infected.
You almost have to have sort of this perfect storm of really hot, dry, high salinity weather periods in order for us to see even a little bit of it.
They say another major outbreak in Maine is unlikely thanks to several safeguards. Farmers like McKean now use MSX-resistant broodstock, oysters they breed into their farms. Maine also has strict regulations for all oysters, including imports, but even then, scientists don't fully understand the nature of the disease.
It's definitely transferred from oyster to oyster somehow, but we don't know.
And as our oceans warm, the questions grow.
Everything's related, and those warm temperatures, it's hard to predict, what its overall impact will be long term.
And that was Max Williams reporting. Democratic U.S. Senate nominee Troy Jackson was campaigning in Portland tonight. The former Maine Senate president was at Supper Club Cocktail Lounge looking to build support ahead of November. Jackson used the event to draw a contrast with Republican Senator Susan Collins, arguing she isn't using her power as the chair of the Senate Appropriations Committee to push back on the Trump administration.
Susan Collins won't stop anything being the chair of appropriations. She let ICE have what they wanted. She voted for the tax cuts for Elon Musk. She lets the wars in Iran, all those things you can stop with the power of the purse, which she crows that she has power on, but she doesn't use it because she's not willing to go up against Donald Trump.
Jackson is challenging Collins for the U.S. Senate seat she has held since 1997. Even further south, the Select Board in York is planning to bail out the financially troubled York Ambulance Association. The nonprofit has provided ambulance services to the town since the 1970s, but is now in deep debt. Brad Rogers explains.
Town officials say York Ambulance Service has been operating without a budget for the past few years and is currently in default on a $152,000 federal loan. And that's only the half of it.
We recognized the problem a few months too late.
For years, York Ambulance relied on memberships and grants to keep them afloat, but those days are over. They're now $350,000 in debt.
We're not getting the donations we used to. Grant opportunities are becoming harder and harder.
The town manager says York Ambulance is in the same boat as many hospitals.
Reimbursements from both insurance companies and from Medicare, Medicaid are flat at best.
At Monday's special town meeting, select board members questioned why York Ambulance didn't come to them sooner.
It's a trust factor for me. I'm feeling like you're not trustworthy. You're not giving us all the information.
Did we know that we had issues? Yes, we did.
Even though revenues are down, York Ambulance officials told town leaders they had no choice but to give paramedics and EMTs pay raises.
The only way we could keep it staffed, it was to go ahead and have people, have qualified people, and we had to pay them.
I get all that.
And
I just don't know why you didn't come before us sooner. Now you need $350,000. You can see how that progression would cause us to have concern.
York Ambulance says under its contract, the town only provides $150,000 annually for ambulance service.
If you look at our neighboring communities, they receive significantly more municipal funding to provide a very similar service.
The answer is pretty clear. They need more money to keep doing business. But I do think we've got to look at all the options that are on the table.
The select board plans to ask voters to approve up to $500,000 from town coffers for York Ambulance.
At the end of the day, you want to dial 911 and have an ambulance show up, right? And we're committed to that. We're committed to the best solution for the town.
The special budget referendum still needs approval from the town budget committee, which meets next week to consider the funding.
And that was Brad Rogers reporting. Folks, just ahead, we have your national headlines.
Are your gutters weighed down by debris causing them to sag and overflow? I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems. Clogged gutters lead to costly repairs for your home, so skip the cleaning and stop the clogs with Gutter Shutter. Gutter Shutter, the world's best gutter, is a high-performance gutter with a lifetime no-clog guarantee. Stop the clutter, get Gutter Shutter. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
I got hurt by a big truck. Why did I call the twos? Because life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. We got a client who broke multiple bones in a commercial vehicle accident, $700,000. Call the twos. We win for you.
You don't get to buy the government that you want.
But let's look at what Troy Jackson did, because Troy Jackson likes to keep it in the family. When Jackson was state Senate president, his son was one of the highest paid lobbyists in town. Special interests paid his son, and Jackson changed his positions. Was it a coincidence, or was something corrupt? Troy Jackson is just another dirty politician. SLF PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Need a driveway paved or an entire road surfaced? Give Eaton Paving and Excavation a call. Eaton Paving offers a full line of excavation packages, from new home projects to new and replacement septics and driveways. We also install new shoreland and do shoreland repairs. Our operators have more than 75 years combined experience, and we have been delivering quality, professional service for nearly 3 decades. We strive to exceed your expectations. Give us a call today at 207-348-5630 or visit us at EatonPaving.com.
One weekend, one city. There's never been a race like this.
This is history in the making.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
President Trump says Iran talks are a no-go until the regime gets serious about making a deal. But Iran continues to threaten its Gulf neighbors and ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Fox's Rebecca Castor has the latest from Washington.
That's pretty great, huh?
While signing a stone that will be part of a new White House helipad, President Trump seemed unconcerned about stalled talks with Iran, but left the door open for future negotiations.
Maybe at some point, but right now, I think the situation is so good, but maybe at some point. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they won't.
The president believes economic pressure on Iran is working, and now he's getting a boost from a U.S. partner in the region. The UAE, one of Iran's last economic lifelines, is now suspending all trade with the country after intercepting 2 ballistic missiles Tuesday, even though Iran claims it wasn't them.
Well, I don't care if they denied it, they did it. The president is correct to keep the economic and maritime pressure on, and time is on our side.
Ships are still being attacked in the Strait of Hormuz, but U.S. Navy escorts are helping get some oil out. The price per barrel is still creeping up, though, with no clear end in sight to the conflict.
What we need the president to do is get to the negotiating table in a serious way and get the Strait of Hormuz open. He's desperately looking for an off-ramp. He's driven into a cul-de-sac here.
Iranian insiders recently told the Financial Times U.S. military bases in Europe may be Iran's next targets, the latest sign Tehran could be getting ready to escalate the war. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Stand by. Meanwhile, America's Pacific allies are scrambling to limit the military and diplomatic fallout after President Trump dramatically scaled back joint drills with South Korea in favor of diplomacy. Fox's Rich Edson has more.
I know Kim Jong-un very well, and he's going to be fine. As long as we have a smart president.
Like in his first term, President Trump is pushing to engage with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. The Pentagon confirmed Wednesday the annual U.S.-South Korea military exercises will end 6 days early, following the president's order to substantially scale them back. The president has called the exercises costly and cited his personal relationship with Kim Jong-un.
I get along with him, and you know what? The fact that I get along with him, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. He has 57 very powerful nuclear weapons.
The president also linked his decision to South Korea's refusal to support the U.S. effort against Iran. Seoul is now suggesting it could become involved in the Middle East if it means shoring up American military support back home.
We are in close consultations with the United States regarding possible substantive and military contributions.
North Korea said Wednesday it still sees the scaled-back drills as a provocation and denied any contact between Trump and Kim. But the sudden change for the Trump administration is raising new questions about the future of the U.S. security commitment.
Obviously, what the United States does is a matter for it. Australia is very concerned about North Korea's nuclear program as well as its missile program.
President Trump said Wednesday he expects to meet face-to-face with Kim Jong-un later this year. In Washington, Rich Edson, Fox News.
The U.S. and Canada have reached a deal to delay President Trump's tariffs on billions of dollars worth of Canadian goods. In a Truth Social post, the president hinted at what may be part of the agreement. Fox's Madeline Rivera has the story.
Less than 2 hours before a wave of sanctions went into effect, the U.S. and Canada have an agreement for now. On Truth Social, President Trump announced he's pausing new 50% tariffs on Canada for 3 days, adding, quote, based on the fact that Canada and the USA, subject to the finalization of documents, have a deal. The tariffs were set to go into effect overnight and target dozens of products from hockey sticks to wine. In a statement, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney says important work remains, adding, quote, while we continue this work, Canada remains focused on building a stronger, more independent, and more competitive economy at home.
We want to make sure that our trade policy is effective, if there's a way to accommodate the Canadians on that and have our trade policy to be effective.
The president did not provide specifics of the deal, but suggested it might include a renewed effort to revive the Keystone XL pipeline. He first announced the tariffs last month in retaliation for what he considered unfair trade practices by Canada.
We've been screwed by tariffs used against us for years by China, by Japan, by South Korea, by Germany, by everybody, by Canada.
Canadian officials criticized that decision and threatened new tariffs of their own.
We're standing up for Canadian workers, for Canadian businesses, as we always have from the start.
And delegations from both countries are reportedly meeting in Washington today for more talks. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
As the war in Ukraine continues, the Ukrainians have been increasingly taking the fight to Russia, focusing on economic targets, and it's having an impact. Fox's Jeff Paul has more from London.
Another night of deadly Russian attacks on Ukraine, at least 4 civilians killed in the frontline city of Kherson. But even as they suffer heavy casualties, the Ukrainians have been taking the fight to Russia, hitting economic targets in a campaign aimed at stopping Moscow's ability to fund the war. And it appears to be working. Russians are pulling billions from their bank accounts. It's a record cash outflow amid fears that the government could start seizing deposits.
It's much more about morale and getting people questioning government policy.
And Ukraine's military says it will step up its attacks against Russia's leading retailer, Wildberries.
We do our job very good, and we see now a lot of problems inside Russia with their economy.
Russian President Vladimir Putin tells a different story, saying Wednesday the strikes had a limited impact on Russia's economic outlook.
While operations are certainly proceeding under high-pressure conditions, we are successfully meeting the challenges of the times.
But that contradicts his central bank governor, who admitted Ukrainian attacks on Russian oil facilities are having a big impact. And on Wednesday, gas stations in Moscow reportedly began rationing fuel.
The increase in fuel is beginning to spread to prices for a wide range of goods and services. This predictably affected inflationary expectations.
Ukraine's military says so far this year they've taken out more than 30% of Russia's oil capacity, and they say they're just getting started. In London, Jeff Paul, Fox News.
The national debt has surpassed a record $40 trillion, highlighting the impact of defense costs, social programs, and interest on the deficit. This milestone comes just 5 months after hitting $39 trillion. Experts say the growing debt is already affecting Americans by raising borrowing costs and lowering wages. Advocates for a balanced budget warn of tougher fiscal trade-offs ahead. Margaret Spellings from the Bipartisan Policy Center says the fiscal trajectory is unsustainable. The U.S. is subject to a statutory debt limit, which Congress may need to address come 2027. And there's more national news ahead, folks. Don't go anywhere.
DeChambeau, Rahm, and the stars of LIV tee it up in Indianapolis. LIV Golf, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on Fox.
Here are the facts about Susan Collins and Medicaid. Susan Collins was the deciding vote to advance Donald Trump's Medicaid cuts.
Susan Collins was the deciding vote to advance the bill.
Now, thousands more Mainers are expected to lose their Medicaid coverage. Hospitals and clinics are shutting down, all to give massive tax breaks for billionaires. Look up the facts yourself and tell Susan Collins to stop voting for Trump's health care cuts.
Chevy drivers across America will do a lot in the next 5 years. But one thing they won't do is pay interest on their new Chevy. Right now, get 0% financing for 5 years on all 2026 Silverado 1500 models. With no payments for 90 days. Because you've earned this summer. Now it's time to go get it.
Visit your main Chevy dealers.
I'm a fifth-generation logger from Allagash. I grew up a poor kid in a town full of poor people, doing everything right and still struggling to get ahead. And it's worse now. People in this country work so damn hard and still feel so damn broke. That's no way to live. Susan Collins keeps telling us that everything's fine, but we know it's not. We all have eyes, paychecks, and bills. We know we're getting screwed. You deserve better. I'm Troy Jackson. I'm running for Senate, and I approve this message.
From the heart of Maine, where rugged beauty meets timeless craftsmanship, Richard Henderson & Sons Masonry, taming the outdoors through groundwork, retaining walls and seawalls, building custom fireplaces that become the centerpiece of your home, crafting granite steps and patios that invite you outdoors, designing hardscapes that turn yards into living spaces, built to last, crafted for life. Richard Henderson & Sons Masonry, quality in every stone.
So-called Democratic Socialists picked up a surprising primary win in Florida last night as the Democratic Party continues to grapple with a changing identity while control of Congress is on the line in November. We go back to Fox's Rebecca Castor, who has a look at some of Tuesday's major races.
A contentious primary season is nearing its end, with Democratic Socialists gaining steam even in red states. We love you! Progressive State Rep Angie Nixon scored a major upset in Florida last night. defeating Iraq War veteran Alex Vindman for the Democratic Senate nomination. She'll face incumbent Republican Senator Ashley Moody in November. But if Nixon makes it to Washington, establishment Democrats are on notice.
Will you support Leader Schumer to be the Democrats' leader in the upper chamber, or do you think we need new leadership?
You know, I think we need new leadership all across the country.
Another Democratic socialist on Florida's ballot, Oliver Larkin, lost his primary to two-term Congressman Jared Moskowitz. But nationwide, the DSA has at least 7 other candidates heading to November's midterms, and whether Washington likes it or not.
Yeah, we've already said in DSA that we are going to be putting someone forward as a presidential nominee for 2028.
Other notable primary wins last night include Congressman Byron Donalds winning the GOP nomination in Florida's governor race, setting the stage for him to become the state's first black governor. And in Alaska, GOP Senator Dan Sullivan is moving on to the general, even with all the confusion over another candidate with the same name on the ballot. Trump-endorsed candidates had wins and losses last night. One notable loss was in Florida, where incumbent Congressman Corey Mills lost his re-election primary as he faces several ethics violations. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Meanwhile, the issue of data centers to support artificial intelligence is becoming a nationwide controversy. Now, a Republican campaign group is warning toxic views of the facilities could harm the party's chances of holding a vital Senate seat. Fox's Mark Meredith with the latest.
They're colossal, costly, and controversial. Now data centers, the backbone of artificial intelligence, are a key issue in swing states.
Hello, Cleveland Heights.
In Ohio, former Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown is hoping strong opposition to data centers.
Big corporations gobble up energy to feed their data centers, and they leave you with the bill.
Will help him beat incumbent Republican Senator John Husted, who over the years strongly supported data center development in the state. In a memo, the National Republican Senatorial Committee writes, "This has become a sleeper issue for the entire election cycle." Fox polling shows Husted trailing Brown by 8 points. The senator says more needs to be done to help workers adapt to the new AI world.
We have to be faster in how we help people adjust to the changes in the workforce.
The political pressure extends beyond Ohio. In Pennsylvania, Democratic Governor Josh Shapiro, who once embraced the computing facilities, signed an executive order this week ending fast-track development for such projects.
I'm a hell no on many other projects across Pennsylvania, and they will not happen on my watch.
Nationwide, voters are against data centers in their backyard, with Fox polling showing 70% of people oppose such projects. That backlash is forcing elected officials to respond.
We all want to compete. We all want to be number one AI, no question. But we've got to let local communities decide on data centers.
Political messaging experts say it's an issue candidates everywhere must address.
Ignoring the actual feelings and misunderstandings or lack of information that people have is not the right answer.
The data center backlash is also spreading. This week, Memphis city leaders advanced plans for a one-year moratorium on data centers. Denver's done the same thing earlier this year, and governors are acting too. New York's Kathy Hochul agreed with a one-year moratorium, saying lawmakers need at least that much time to come up with appropriate regulations. In Washington, Mark Meredith, Fox News.
Folks, just ahead, we have your full 5-day forecast. Keep it right here.
A nice warm day today that led to a few showers and thunderstorms making their way across the state, especially near Bangor here as well. Are we going to continue to see a stormy stretch, or is there a dry stretch on the horizon? We'll have those answers come right up.
At Old Town Redemption Center, we are always ready to help with any fundraisers or bottle drives. We are here to help our community. Like and follow us on Facebook for upcoming weekly holiday giveaways and our monthly $100 drawing.
They've got the sharpest pencil in town. Have they just sit around that showroom figuring deals and whittling that old pencil down? They know that if you buy once, you're gonna be back. So instead of buying one, you're buying two, and that's a fact. They've got the sharpest.
So come on down, neighbor. The coffee pot's on and the pencil is sharp.
He put his life on the line for his country. Senator Susan Collins isn't forgetting him or any of our veterans. She's delivered millions in federal funding to improve housing for veterans across Maine and provide housing vouchers to make sure Maine veterans have a place to call home. She's also worked tirelessly to provide the quality mental health care our veterans deserve. Call and tell Senator Collins to keep fighting for our veterans.
Let your creativity run free at the Creative Arts Center, where we offer fun and affordable activities for all ages. Birthday parties, pottery wheel classes, painting lessons, or just for the fun of it. Get fired up for glazing projects as well as acrylics. We offer a wide selection of ceramic products for you to choose from, and we have thousands of pieces ready to paint. We are a Paragon kiln dealer and a Laguna Clay distributor. Stop by the Creative Arts Center today, located just off the Joshua Chamberlain Bridge in Brewer. The Creative Arts Center, where your only limitation is your imagination.
At Old Town Redemption Center, we are always ready to help with any fundraisers or bottle drives. We are here to help our community. Like and follow us on Facebook for upcoming weekly holiday giveaways and our monthly $100 drawing.
We're ready for baseball, and off we go.
Major League Baseball, all season long on Fox.
Thank you very much. Tonight's weather is brought to you by Rogan's Memorials. Give the gift of comfort through thoughtful planning with locations in Bangor, Bucksport, and Lincoln. All right, as you saw for those highs today, we reached the mid-80s here in Bangor. We were a few of the others that were the warm kids in town. 84 here, and we did see the mid-80s into the southwestern portion of the state as well. You saw a little bit of a sea breeze on your coastline for today, keeping you at 77 in Rockland, but you shared those temperatures further north as well. 77 Greenville, same for Clayton Lake, 79 and Presque Isle out there this afternoon. Now, a lot of us tonight are going to be falling just near 60 degrees. The model's got us here at 64, but with some clearer skies, we're going to cool off just a little bit more now. You'll see the cooler temperatures off to the west and to the north, where you can see some low to mid 50s possible for tonight, but otherwise, many of us near 60 degrees. And for tomorrow, we're going to bring some 80s back, but right around 80 is where we should be with some increasing cloud cover tomorrow. The rest of us, especially further north, we're going to stay a little bit cooler with those low to mid 70s in the northern tier of the state. So average high this time of year, right around 79 degrees, going to be very close to average tomorrow with a high of 80, then 81 for your Friday. And then we do look to fall below average, especially for your Sunday. That high right at 70 degrees. A few of us can be spending the day in the 60s. Got a lot of rain on the way for your Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, and the Wednesday, those temperatures climb right back up near average. By Wednesday, you'll be right in the upper 70s once again. So wind-wise out there for tonight. So a little bit of a breeze today. That's going to be out of here by tonight. But tomorrow, a westerly breeze could be in place near 10 to 15 miles per hour. But otherwise, winds will stay lighter than that. And they'll lighten up again tomorrow night. Going into your Friday, they look to stay pretty light as well. Here's 6 a.m. Maybe a breeze starting from the south, but otherwise we'll be just fine. So taking a look into tonight, those thunderstorms are now making their way out of here. So we're going to be pretty dry throughout the rest of the night. And we'll see some decreasing clouds, but we're going to flip the script tomorrow. More increasing cloud cover into the afternoon. So you'll see sunshine from the morning till about noon, but here comes the clouds right after 1 o'clock. You're going to see a lot of cloud cover making its way through Bangor. Now, we do look to stay dry. That low pressure system is just too far to give us any showers, but it will throw some cloud cover for us. It looks like you can get a little bit more sunshine further north for tomorrow, but otherwise, all of us will get more sunshine headed into your Friday as that high pressure begins to really take over and give us some sunshine and warmer temperatures. So, as you see for tonight, we got lows just below 60 degrees. There is going to be some areas of dense fog developing towards the early morning, but those thunderstorms are coming to an end. We're going to be done with that for tonight. Into tomorrow, increasing clouds, especially for the late afternoon hours, but otherwise, that sunshine early on should still help us reach near 80 with winds from the west right around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Taking a look at your extended forecast, still got low 80s going into your Friday with more sunshine. Now, mid 70s arrive for your Saturday. That does come with a slight chance for rain, but better chances for rain Saturday night into your Sunday. That can come with a few thunderstorms with highs near 70, back in the low to mid 70s Monday with a slight chance for a few more lingering showers and thunderstorms.
Chase, thank you so much. Folks, we have sports for you next.
Mainers work hard. Our leaders should too. Like Senator Susan Collins, who just cast her 10,000th vote.
The first senator in U.S. history to reach that mark without ever missing a vote.
Collins worked with Democrats to keep the Gulf of Maine open for our fishermen, kept our shipbuilders on the job with new funding, and Collins expanded health care for rural Mainers. No drama, just hard work and results. Call. Ask Senator Collins to keep working hard for Mainers.
It's a mountain of fun. Plus, the Mallet Brothers at the county's Fall Festival to End Hunger, Saturday, October 3rd. This year's family fun, the scenic chairlift, an ATV ride-in, food trucks, beer garden, bonfire, golf scramble, and the Mallet Brothers. The county's Fall Festival to End Hunger, Big Rock, Mars Hill, Saturday, October 3rd. All for Maine's Ending Hunger campaign from the County Federal Credit Union. More at countyfallfestival.org.
Here are the facts about Susan Collins and Medicaid. Susan Collins was the deciding vote to advance Donald Trump's Medicaid cuts.
Susan Collins was the deciding vote to advance the bill.
Now, thousands more Mainers are expected to lose their Medicaid coverage. Hospitals and clinics are shutting down, all to give massive tax breaks for billionaires. Look up the facts yourself and tell Susan Collins to stop voting for Trump's healthcare cuts.
Saturday night, preseason football is back. The Philadelphia Eagles take on the New England Patriots. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Saturday night on ABC 7.
Welcome back in, folks. The high school soccer season is almost here, and the Ellsworth girls soccer team has a new coach.
I just know that we're in good hands, and I know that we're with someone that really enjoys soccer and just wants to help us get better.
The high school soccer season is just around the corner, and for every team, a new season means new changes. The Ellsworth girls soccer team is no different, as Addie Lastly steps in as the Eagles' brand new head coach.
I'm so excited to come back, and it kind of fills the void a little bit. I've been playing soccer since I was 4 years old.
While she may be new to coaching, Lastly is not new to Ellsworth. She played all 4 years of high school as a member of the Eagles, which largely played a part in her return home in a new role.
When Eric announced his resignation, I texted him like, oh my gosh, I'm so sad you're leaving. We always joked when I graduated that his last year was going to be the year that I was ready to take the team. I really wanted to coach this school that I grew up in and graduated from.
After graduating from Husson University and following a successful collegiate career, Lastly's experience at the next level is one of the traits that makes her a great fit for the Eagles.
Obviously, being fresh from college, a little bit more experience and some recent experience. And I think because I've been playing for so long, I know a lot about the game.
She definitely knows what she's doing. She definitely knows a lot of good drills for us to do. She definitely has a lot of experience to get us to win those games.
Another great attribute that lands with her in Ellsworth, her competitiveness.
I'm the most competitive person I know. I think I'm not even allowed to play board games with my family. I want to win, and I'm hoping that I can influence the girls to be the same.
As a young coach adapting to her new role, there are things Lastly is focusing on getting better at early on.
Being loud and having a voice and being confident is probably what I've been working on.
But the players will tell you she's already done that.
She definitely leads with her head, sort of she's very confident.
The new season looms, and the Eagles will set out to try and win their first ever state title. For Lastly, the idea of that possibility is something she can't even fully put into words.
I would probably freak out if we won a state championship my first year, obviously. It would be hard to follow.
In Ellsworth, Max Sturm, ABC 7 and Fox 22 Sports.
Thank you for that, Max. Cooper Flagg is excited about year 2 with the Mavericks. Less than a year removed from the start of his rookie year, and things look a lot different in Dallas. As of now, he will have veteran star Kyrie Irving by his side. Anthony Davis has been shipped to Washington, and he has a new coach in Dusty May. Here's Flagg on year 2.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I've been able to spend some time with Dusty and get on the court and work out with the new staff. So very excited, looking forward in the future, and just continue to get better. New beginning for us, a new start, only 2 games, so just looking forward to showing improvement, staying healthy, getting guys healthy. Obviously, Kyrie's going to help a lot. Got some new faces, so it's really exciting just going into this new year with a fresh slate and just showing that we've improved and got better.
I think we're all excited to see what Flagg does this year. He comes to Boston on November 15th. That is a Sunday. Patriots hosting the Eagles for a pair of joint practices this week ahead of their preseason game at Gillette on Saturday. Patriots defense picking off Jalen Hurts 3 times in the practice on Wednesday. A.J. Brown also got his first reps against his old team, and when asked about his tenure in Philly, he said he's living in the moment.
It was just work. It was just work, man. Same old meetings that we've been having, same attention to detail. preparing, getting ready for practice, and just coming out here and just focusing on myself each and every rep.
We'll wrap things up with the Sox looking to sweep the Diamondbacks down at Fenway Park on Wednesday. Bottom of the first pitch the Red Sox face all game, and Nick Sogard puts it into the bullpen. Look at all-star Corbin Carroll. He runs straight into the wall as the Sox take a 1-0 lead. Bottom of the third we go. Jarren Duran is going to follow Sogard's lead. He takes a shot that also lands in the same exact bullpen. Carroll almost hits the wall again. 2-0 Sox. Sox down 3-2 now. Newbar with a runner on second. He crushes this one from Weissert. He extends the lead to 5-2. But the bottom six, it's the character from Popeye, Mickey Gasper. He's got more old-time magic up his sleeve. He knocks a 3-run shot over the right field wall. This one's tied at 5 in extras. Nolan Arenado slices a blooper into shallow left field to make it 6-5. That score would stand. D-backs avoid the sweep with the win. Tough one for the Sox there in extras. For now, that's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Dreaming of a new garage or custom build? Patriot Landscaping and Construction delivers from frame to finish. Expert craftsmanship, durable designs, and quality you can trust, we get it done right. Call Patriot Landscaping and Construction today. Let's build your future together.
You don't get to buy the government that you want.
But let's look at what Troy Jackson did. Because Troy Jackson likes to keep it in the family. When Jackson was state Senate president, his son was one of the highest paid lobbyists in town. Special interests paid his son, and Jackson changed his positions. Was it a coincidence, or was something corrupt? Troy Jackson is just another dirty politician. SLF PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Bikers are known for giving back, helping others in need, helping Mainers get back on their feet. At the law offices of Joe Bornstein, being Maine's motorcycle lawyers is something we wear proudly, fighting and winning for injured bikers since 1974. We know the Maine roads and the Maine laws. That's why injured bikers know to call Joe, because accidents happen to be our specialty. Born to ride? Keep Joe by your side. Maine's motorcycle lawyers.
Are you experiencing foot pain? Comfort Shoes & More has a team of experts trained in pet orthotics to help you find relief. They offer tailored fittings, shoe modifications, customized orthotics, and much more for the ordinary or for the hard-to-fit foot, with fashionable and functional footwear from today's top brands: Hoka, Brooks, Keen, Teva, Taos, Ufus, and Birkenstocks. From running to walking, casual or dress, they have it all. Take the drive to Newport for a sit and fit to find your perfect fit. You and your feet will be glad you did.
Augusta politician Troy Jackson. While his family cashed in, you paid the price. As state Senate president, he voted repeatedly for higher taxes. Troy Jackson voted to allow cities and towns to drastically raise your property taxes, hurting our seniors and working families the most. And Jackson supports raising taxes on your Social Security, making Mainers pay more while his family cashed in. We can't afford Troy Jackson in the Senate. Pine Tree Results PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Dreaming of a new garage or custom build? Patriot Landscaping and Construction delivers from frame to finish. Expert craftsmanship, durable designs, and quality you can trust, we get it done right. Call Patriot Landscaping and Construction today. Let's build your future together.
See new perspectives of Diana's fatal crash. Was it an accident?
I think Princess Diana was murdered.
Celebrity crime scene, Princess Diana, Thursday, August 20th on Fox.
As kids across the nation return to school, experts are dishing on how washing hands is only one part of staying healthy. Fox's Anita Vogel has more from Los Angeles.
All across the nation, kids are returning to the classroom, and it's no secret cold and flu season will soon be here. It's why medical experts are now sharing tips for students and anyone with or around them to try and help ward off those potential illnesses.
In general, hand washing is our best strategy for preventing illness, whether you're in school or anywhere else.
But Dr. Skylar Kalady says it goes beyond hand washing. There are other factors to keep in mind, like eating a nutritious diet, which can help bolster immune systems.
You really want to have a broad array of things. And so a protein, fruit and vegetable, and some carbs are some good starts.
And it pays to get some shut-eye, too. Dr. Kalady says sleep plays a huge role in overall student health.
They can have mental health changes and be sort of sad and depressed and poor concentration. So it really can impact everything and reduce their ability to learn well.
This week, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reported U.S. school vaccination rates for kindergartners fell slightly during the 2025-2026 school year, while routine childhood vaccine exemption rates for kindergartners reached a record high. But doctors like Kalady are strongly recommending vaccines to help keep life-threatening illnesses out of the classroom. According to the CDC, the 2025-2026 school year was the fourth year in a row that the national average kindergarten vaccine exemption rate reached a record high. I'm Anita Vogel, Fox News.
Well, youth interested in STEM built and launched their own rockets today at a special event held by the Challenger Learning Center of Maine. Kids of all ages got hands-on STEM experience at Challenger Learning Center's Blast Off Bash. Held at the Coal Land Transportation Museum, participants got to build their own rockets, launch them, of course, and then learn about rocket science, all while having some fun.
A rocket launch is just this really great event where you can see and hear and feel an amazing launch opportunity. And students with their families get to build it from scratch, hear the kits and all the pieces and parts, and they will feel empowered to build it and launch it all on the same day. And we hope that it's really a spark, saying, hey, I did this well, I think I like this. And so it's just one more opportunity to get them excited about STEM.
Those who were unable to make the event on Wednesday will still be able to take part in the Blast Off Bash during the second day of the event, which is Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon. Well, Wednesday marked day number 7 of the iconic Skowhegan State Fair, and attendees still have plenty of activities to enjoy. Our Sam Miller has more.
The Skowhegan State Fair is in full swing, and attendees of all ages flock to the fairground to celebrate 208 years of the oldest consecutive agricultural fair in the United States. The fair began on Thursday, August 13th, with each day bringing new and exciting activities for people to enjoy. On top of the numerous rides and games that put their livestock front and center. Farmers showcased their sheep to be judged on ballast and breed characteristics. And across the way, horses displayed raw pulling power by hauling nearly 10,000 total pounds of concrete. Fairground employees say seeing waves of people come in and experience everything the fair has to offer makes every second worth it.
They've all been great, really nice. I've seen a lot more people than I've ever seen in my life, but it's been a great fair. I love this fair.
Amongst all of the rides, food, and livestock, attendees say the most thrilling moments of all are made with the people closest in your life.
We're just hanging out, having fun at the fair. It's a good time, and especially here in Skowhegan, because I got friends in Mercer and Norridgewock, and it's in between everybody.
Even after 200 years, the fair continues to be a staple in the state, and everyone who attends can never get enough. In Skowhegan, Sam Miller, ABC 7, Fox 22 News.
And that is going to do it for us, folks, from everyone here at Fox 22 News. Take care and have a great night. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.
For more local news coverage, switch over to our sister station, ABC 7, right now for ABC 7 News at 11.
30 years living that Washington, D.C. lifestyle. That'll change a person. Getting rich from insider stock trading should be illegal. But Susan Collins doesn't think so. Susan Collins wants to keep it so senators can play the stock market, make millions of dollars doing it. Why we struggle to pay for gas, groceries, health insurance, the basics. For them to get all that money while we're paying more, it's not right. It's not right. tell Susan Collins to stop this congressional stock trade.
Hi folks, Joe Namath here. Did you know that I wear hearing aids? I was wearing those expensive hearing aids for years, and I didn't know any better until a good friend of mine told me about MD Hearing. I thought the price was too good to be true, but I bought a pair anyway. No doctor visit, no prescription, no hassle. It was easy. When they showed up, I called and spoke to Sandy, one of their audiologists, to make sure the hearing aids fit and work the way I need it. And they do that for everyone, not just me.
Call now and get 2 rechargeable Neo hearing aids for just $297 with a free portable charging case and free shipping. The rechargeable Neo is nearly invisible with its tiny in-the-ear canal design, and you can get 2 rechargeable Neo hearing
Rosie O'Donnell guest hosts a new Jimmy Kimmel Live with Charlie Day and Janelle James tonight on
This is ABC 7 News at 11.
The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office is investigating